Sadie wanted to congratulate all of you Palantir holders. She said it's been a while since she has said hello to everybody, so she just wanted to jump up and say hi. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. Wow, Palantir has literally exploded. How exciting for everyone that was in this stock. It grew over 25% after earnings, and proud to say that I am now a Palantir millionaire. I had made over $1 million in profit from this stock, but it's not just me. I had asked all of my community members to just drop me a little note on all the money that they profited on this stock since being introduced to it, and they have made over $7 million on Palantir. And that's not even the entire community. That's just the ones that report it. And so congratulations to all of you that were in this play. Some of you have been in it long before I was. I got in at around that $13 mark, and then I added heavily under $20. But for the longest time, the institutions called retail money dumb money. So they were not impressed with us investing in Palantir before it was yet proven. But ironically, those same institutions, they now hold over 51% of this stock. It seems like they've woken up to it. They were not even allowed to let their clients know about it until it was a proven profitable company. So now all the price targets are starting to be updated, but it's kind of silly because it's after the fact. I mean, we knew about the stock long ago. In fact, for those of you that stayed to the end, I have something fun that I found. I started reporting on Palantir back in 2023, and I found a video. I think you'll find it very comical when you look at the price action and then my predictions for the price action. It's kind of fun to look back and watch. Now, this video has something for everybody in it. For those of you that already own Palantir and you want to know how to make money off of your shares safely without risking them being called away or being able to regain them at the same price, I am going to take you through all of that detail. For those of you that don't yet have Palantir and you want to know what's a good price to get into it and how do you get into it, I have 3 different ways that I want you to consider to start to establish your position into Palantir. I'm going to take you through all of that. And then most people want to know, is it too late? This company is just beginning. Let's just take a look at all of the current companies that Palantir now has a higher market cap in. Palantir's market cap went up to over $240 billion after earnings. But look on the screen of all the different companies that are below this market cap. I think this is really impressive, and it shows that, yes, Palantir has now gotten the attention of institutional investors. Of course it has. But how high can Palantir go? A lot of people are saying it's the next NVIDIA, it's the next Oracle. So let's take a look. I did a little research for you. I wanted to show you some of the Mag 7 companies. How many years ago were they at the same market cap that Palantir is now? Meta in 2021 was only at the $250 billion mark, and here it sits at $900 billion. Look at Apple in 2012, Google in 2017, you've got Amazon in 2018, Microsoft in 2019, NVIDIA in 2021 was only at $250 billion, and now it sits over $1 trillion. And then there again, look at Tesla, same situation, 2021, and here we are just 4 years later, and we're sitting at $1 trillion. Netflix in 2020 was at the $250 billion mark, and now they are at the $350 billion mark. So you can see how fast a company can grow. So it is not out of the realm of possibilities that we will see Palantir on this list anywhere in the next 2 to 5 years. So no, it's not too late to get in. Now, if nothing else, this should encourage those of you that think you're too late. You can still get in on this game, especially if you've got a longer time horizon, like 5 years out or more. Buying it right now at around the $100 mark, or even if you can get it lower, you're going to feel like you were the best investor in the world. So I wanted to encourage you and just put things in perspective. Now, for those of you that are tired of seeing red in your portfolio and you want to have a green portfolio like a lot of my members have, I am offering you a red to green workshop. It'll be helpful, especially for those of you that aren't exposed to my teaching style. I think you may enjoy being able to just get a little bit of exposure as to how I teach, and then I can help you turn your portfolios around. Now, we are going to do this before the Super Bowl festivities start. So if you're interested in that, I want you to click the link below, and we will meet on Sunday evening, and I will share with you some perspective on how I did this for my own portfolio years ago. And for those of you that want to just go ahead and join the Discord, click the link below. You will be connected to one of my team members. They're going to actually show you Discord. They're going to show you all the different benefits to it, and they will discuss what the right program is for you. I have my new trader network that is for smaller accounts. Those are individuals that have about $5,000 and they're just wanting to start to learn how to sell options. I will let you know that I have been very excited for that group. All of the plays that I call, and I call about one a week, every now and then I throw in a little extra for them. They have enjoyed 100% win rate on every trade. So they have more than paid for their membership already. And most importantly, they are learning. I also have a surprise call coming up with them next week that I'm excited about. So for those of you that want to learn, you want a learning environment, a professional environment, and an environment where I don't just call out the plays, but I actually explain why I'm taking the trade, then you really want to join one of my programs, because people are making so much money, but more importantly, they're learning. And that's what's most important, learning how to trade so that you can fish for yourself. Let's take a look at some of the technical analysis on Pltr. Now, it's really a challenge to use just straight technical analysis when you have a stock that gaps up like this and it's in price discovery mode. But one thing I like to do in this situation, because we do have new information, we have the growth rate that they've experienced. We have a lot of institutional investors, as we discussed, that now have this stock. And so you can't really use the traditional measures to evaluate where it may pull back to. So now with this new information, what I've done is I am at the 1 week time frame, and I am looking to see where a level of support is. And if you see right here, this is the 20 period moving average. That's right at about 81. It does seem like it won't drop that much based on the fact that institutions have now just put it in their coffers. They don't trade in and out of the stock as much as a retail investor would. So we probably won't see quite as wild price swings as we have seen in the past. So I am going to call about 85 as the next level of strong support to be able to get into this stock. And so if you are looking to sell puts, this might be a good level to sell puts on. We actually did that today in my Discord community. Now, if you wanted to set buy orders for a flash crash, you might consider something around that $85 mark as well. My favorite way to establish a position in a stock that I don't already have is to go ahead and buy a few shares, even on a day like today where it's still over $100. It's what I call money eyes. You have money eyes on the trade because you really don't pay close attention if it's not in your brokerage account and you're not watching it regularly. So go ahead and nibble out a few shares now so that you can see it constantly. Then you could also set a daily buy order. This is something that I have been doing for Pltr forever. I do it in the Robinhood platform, and it's allowed me to buy Pltr every day. So that's been wonderful. But what happens if you're able to watch it and you have your money eyes on it, anytime it pulls back, you can then accelerate your buy, and that will inherently lower your average week after week once it's done. So have your budget that you've decided you're going to put aside for this, and then when you see it pull back, usually anywhere between 2 and 3%, you go ahead and buy a couple more shares than you typically would. And then if you have a dramatic pull of the back, then you flush out more of your position so that you have your money working for you and constantly lowering your average. Now we identified that $85 mark. Let me show you how to go in and actually make that trade. So you do trade Pltr options. When you get up, this is on the Robinhood platform. When you get up here, you want to do sell, put, and then you select your date. The date that we had selected, I think, was in March, but you can do this for a variety of dates. Let's say you want to go to February 21st. So what you would do, you would want to scroll down to the $85 level, if that's the one you want to do. $85 is right here. And then this is showing you that you have a significant chance of this expiring worthless. So you're at 91% chance of profit. You could really actually go lower if you want, but if you were going to do this one, you would select this and you're going to be paid $45 for putting up $8,500 to buy 100 shares. If you don't have a lot of time and you want to go out even further, let's take a look at March the 21st. It's a little bit over a month away. And for that same expiration, you'll get $191 and you'll be putting up $8,500 for the trade. Now this one, because you're going further out, this is close to about a 0.2 delta. It's giving you about an 81% chance. And this is a really good sweet spot that I like to sell puts, especially if you're going further out. So you might enjoy doing this trade, or if you're going to do a shorter dated trade, you might be able to be a little bit more aggressive and maybe go to $90 or even $95. The next opportunity for those of you that are having your shares called away because it's just too hard to roll the trade, you'll lose too much money by trying to roll or you'll have to go too far out. I want you to consider leaps options. In this scenario, those would be call options that are purchased a year or more out. And so let's take a look at what might be a reasonable leaps on Palantir. The first potential date for consideration is right here, 2/20 of 2026, or you could even do March of 2026. Let's take a look at 2/20 to see what we can get. Now, when you go on the option chain, calls are on the left and puts are on the right. So the first order of business is to try to find a reasonable priced leaps. Currently, it's trading at about $100 a share. So if you were to buy Palantir today, 100 shares so that you can enjoy the price movement up, that would cost you about $10,000 today. You would have to put that money aside, and then every dollar that Palantir moves up, you'll get to keep $1. Now, every dollar Palantir moves down, you'll see your account go down by $1 if you have 100 shares. But what could we do with $10,000 if we purchased a leaps? Let's take a look. Look right here at this $80 strike price. Would you like to own Palantir at $80? I sure would if we could turn back time. So when you look at this, you want to find a strike price that has something around a 0.7 to a 0.8 delta, and this one is a 0.78 delta. What will this cost you? Well, you know it'll cost $100 a share if you're buying the stock, but if you're buying this leaps option, it's only going to cost you $37.40 today for an $80 call option. Okay, that's great. That's a lot less than $100. But Ashley, what will I get when it starts moving up? You'll get $78 a share for every dollar Palantir moves up. So if you do the math, if you're looking at 100 shares, you could take $10,000 today, and every dollar Palantir goes up, you would enjoy $100 from those 100 shares. Or you could take just $3,740, and in that case, every dollar Palantir moves up, you will be getting another $78 for every dollar it moves up. So when you just look at the pure math, would you not rather use $3,740 and enjoy $78 appreciation versus using $10,000 and enjoying only $100 appreciation? And if you decided that you did want to go ahead and invest $10,000, then you could buy 2 of these. And if you bought 2 call options that at $37.40, that is going to only cost you $7,480. So still, you're not spending the full $10,000, but in that scenario, you have 2 of these. So for every dollar that Palantir moves up, then you're going to get to enjoy $156 movement up in your 2 call options combined. And so that's the power of leaps options. The other day when all the news hit and it was flying high, I decided to sell covered calls, and I went ahead and bought these back the same day because once it retreated with profit taking, I was able to enjoy getting all of this premium. It's basically free money at this point because I was agreeing to give up my shares, but I sold high call prices, meaning I wouldn't give up my shares unless by this Friday it hit 110. I even did 112, 115 on some. Well, I sold them when it was at the height of the day, and then as it pulled back, I went ahead and bought these back just in case it caught another run. I didn't want to risk my shares. So just getting a fraction of the available premium was able to yield me quite a bit of money in just 1 week. I mentioned to all of you that we would take a look at the safer place to sell covered calls. So what you want to do in this situation is you want to go out at least to the 3-month chart, depending on if Palantir settles in here around 100 or keeps going up. And you always want to shoot for above the band if you do not want your shares called away. If you're not wheeling this stock and you've just got it in your portfolio, it's just collecting dust and you want money off of it, you won't have the opportunity every week because sometimes it'll be trading in the lower part of its band. And if that's the case, you're just not going to get any premium for going above the band. But when you're in this top quadrant of the band and you're right here anywhere in the upper fourth of the band, then shoot for above the band and then look for a delta that is below 0.2. That will give you the best opportunity to ensure if it's called away at a fair price, or it's going to allow you to roll just a week or two out. Speaking up, I never sell covered calls on my buy and hold positions more than a week or two out max. Because if Palantir catches a run, then I would have to push out for 3 or 4 months, and that would tie up my money and I wouldn't be able to make any more money from it. So you're not looking to break the bank with the premium from the selling cover calls on your shares that are buy and hold. You just want to get a little bit of extra pocket change. Now, for those of you that stayed to the end, I promised a little walk down memory lane. Let's look at a video I made in October of 2023 on Palantir. I'll just show you a few snippets. I told you that I could speed up your path to being a Palantir millionaire by 3 if you follow this one simple trading method. I have mapped out the entire process for you, so I can't wait to show you how this works. But before we get to that, I'm so excited about where we are as a channel. We are knocking on the door of 5,000 subscribers, and I had made a personal commitment that once we got to that point, I would launch a very special surprise for all of you. Look at that. I was so excited to get to 5,000 subscribers, and that was for my first channel. So I rebranded, and then I had to start all over again. So I'm so excited that now I'm well over 30,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you enough. Before we look at specific trades, I want to take a look at where we are in the Bollinger Band. This is something I'd like you all to get in the habit of doing. It helps make you a more educated trader. Palantir in 5 years potentially is at $50 a share. Wow, look at that price action. $16 range for Palantir. That almost seems unheard of. But the funniest part is my 5-year projection was about $50. I was going to be pretty happy with $50 5 years from the time that video was made. So that would be in 2028. Well, here we sit at the beginning of 2025 and we reached over $100 a share. It's very exciting. Investing is very exciting. I want you to enjoy it and be a part of it. Wall Street is here for everybody, not just those institutions, but for you retail traders, which, by the way, I think you're very smart. Now, for those of you that want to keep learning on different ways to trade Palantir, I'm going to link one of my most popular Palantir videos that shows you how to trade right here.